and welcome back to the Adventitious Adventures podcast. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time, feel free to go back and check out the other episodes before this one so you can kind of see what's going on. And for those of you that are returning, thank you for continuing to show up and listen. It means a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. Again, I just wanted to plug out there that pretty soon I will have more information for you about more content that will be added to this channel. It'll be more of a live play style with me and my husband and some potential, future guest roles as well. So I'll give you some more information with that and continue to maybe check that out. Should be fun. The story is pretty cool so far. And finally, as I've said before in other episodes, all of this information and this story can be found on YouTube, and for those of you that would like to read it rather than listen, our original story episodes can be found on WordPress.com under the same name as this channel. Last time the party was surprised as Malvis, not wanting to hurt any of the others, made the choice to break ties with his patron, the demonic Ula, stripping him of his powers. Deciding not to complete the quest given to them by the New North, the party instead headed south in the attempt to find someone that can help them with a potential threat from the people of Askai. Along the way they encountered some deterrents, but ultimately made it to the town of Kelmarsh, where they were approached by a familiar face, who in turn led them to a group of people, one of them being the man they were seeking. This does not seem to be the only surprise, however, for as they begin to talk, they reveal the true reason for their request for aid: the form of a young baby dragon. The story opens with the party having been introduced to 3 magic users by Radcliffe, and having been shown something they never thought they would see: a baby dragon. The others introduced themselves as Ashley and Gregory before talking to the party about how what they possess is so unusual. Until now, the dragons had only been a part of myth, no one having seen them in person at all. Nari then turns and asks Elzaman if they possibly have dragons in the lands beyond, but he says no. Sai, the elf, comes to them and explains more about how he had been on a heist job with his companions. They've been tasked with taking a treasure from Duke Ericton, which turned out to be a dragon egg. After accomplishing the mission, he joined the small group, who had been told to find Mitram and Chop. Saren tells the assembled group that he has heard of Duke Ericton, and that many peoples had fled his influence because of his brutality. As the party is watching the dragon, who seems very young, not even able to make true fire, and debating about what to do next, an elvish-looking woman approaches. She introduces herself as Verena and tells them that she has come from the future, and been told to find them. Verena tells them that the future is very grim, with war and famine pushing the land into chaos. A curse has plagued the world and has separated all of the gods and deities from their plane. She goes on to tell them that this is something that will happen soon, and is because of the peoples from Askai. Warning that they also have or will make a pact with the North, or the New North, she is not sure which. When she's done talking, Gregory speaks up, saying that they should consider all of their options about how to proceed, since it is not likely to be in their favor to go up against a whole army with just those gathered. Others offer their opinions, with Saren proposing rallying the South to help, and Radcliffe saying that they should let the dragon grow and be trained. Gregory interjects that he believes the dragon puts them in a place of vulnerability, and should decide sooner than later what to do with it. Inara offers to take it to Moss Cradle, the abbey she had grown up in, but it would be quite a journey to get there. While Gregory mentions a secluded town that is hidden deep in the mountains that could possibly offer them aid as well. Chop also offers to bring the beast to her own village. Their debate is cut short, however, by a knock on the large doors of the building. Sensing something not being quite right, Mitram climbs to the loft and looks out one of the windows. Below, he finds 4 guards waiting. They are dressed in different and heavier armor than the city guards, however. Downstairs, Sai opens the large doors before being shot in the neck by an arrow, and ushering in a large group of these guards, who seem intent on taking out the gathered party. The fight lasts longer than anticipated and does not go as smoothly as could be hoped, with Saren and Inara taking most of the damage. This was partly due to the guards having some sort of potion that they applied to their swords which seemed to inflict more pain than normal. However, the party eventually is able to come out on top and defeat the guards. When the chaos ends, they find that all of their companions, while being beaten and bloody, have made it through the skirmish. Even Malvis, who they find huddled in the corner with the sword he had gotten from Inara, holding it out in front of him. Mitchum checks the bodies of the fallen men, hoping to discover any kind of information that can explain where they have come from. He discovers that they all bear the same tattoo, that of a triangle above two tusks, which the party realizes is the mark of an elite and very expensive mercenary guild. With that information, they speculated that it could have been Duke Ericton who had sent them. Realizing that the attack means they are out of time to make a decision, Gregory urges them to make a choice on what they should do. He tells them that he and his companions will stay in the city, forming an illusion to throw off anyone who would be searching for them. Ashley brings the dragon to the party and tells them how to take care of it before handing it off to Inara. She tries talking to it, but it ends up biting her, prompting Saren to take it and soothe it once more. With all of that information, the party decides to head into the mountains and search out the secluded village. Elzabin and Anya go to get the wagon and some supplies, and the party departs, Malvis offering to steer the horses. After traveling for a little while, they run across an inn. Suddenly a fireball comes rushing at the inn sign, knocking it back and forth. Looking up, the party sees two mages standing on top of the building. Talking to them for a moment, it is very apparent that the mages are inexperienced and have been using the sign for practice. Not wanting to get into a full-out fight, the party moves on. While they are traveling, Mitchum decides to try and talk to the dragon, who had taken a sleeping curled next to Saren. He uses a spell that makes him able to communicate and be understood as if it were a normal conversation. The dragon tells them that she wants food, and that she does not know her name or anything about where she came from before hatching. Mitchum ends up giving her the name Charmander and telling the rest of the party that they can make friends with her if they offer a bit of food. Charmander ends up liking everyone but Inara, and considers Mitchum and Saren to be his father and mother. As the spell fades, it tries to ask one more question, but is not able to be understood once again. The party continues down the road, the next day being stopped by a group of women. They tell them that they are lost and seem to be truthful. However, Mitchum can tell that something seems off about their demeanor. Malvis seems convinced the party should help them, making Inara comment that it must just be because they are women. In the end, the party has heard of the village they claim to have come from, and escorts the women as far as they can until nightfall. When morning comes, they continue on, running across 5 guards standing on the road. They inquire whether they know Elizabeth, saying that she has gone missing and her husband is looking for her. The party answers that they do not, and the guards send them on their way. As the days pass by, the weather turns somewhat unpleasant, raining and misting off and on. They run across a few more groups of people, including some farmers talking about crops, and a group of elves who are searching for a place to rest. Mitchum remembers having seen a cave back down the road, and mentions it to them. The elves ask if the party will help clear the cave, so they can use it, but the party tells them they are on a mission and need to continue. The elves thank them, though disappointed, and head in that direction, noticing Inara's necklace as they leave. The next day, the weather is held off slightly, but is still overcast. The party passes by a group of druids on the road, but they are obviously on their own mission, since they say nothing and do not stop. As the party continues, the shape of the mountains begins to grace the horizon. In the distance, they spy a monastery, which Inara recognizes as the one she grew up at. In front of them, a man appears, obviously dressed in the vestments of the monastery. Inara asks if he has come from Moss Cradle, but he says no, he is coming from a new monastery that was built and started about a 2 days' ride from here. The monk tells her that it was started recently by a man named Marcus, who had actually left Moss Cradle with the belief that they need to better themselves and that no one is to be trusted. At the monk's words, Inara seems to get emotional, seeming as if she knows this Marcus person. She tells the monk to give Marcus a message from her, that she wants to know what happened and what he is doing. Recognizing her name, the monk agrees to deliver the message, and both parties continue on their way. As the story ends, the view zooms out and down the road, revealing a giant boulder that begins to move and stand up. It is revealed to be a frost giant, who in turn wakes its companion, a fire giant. As the scene fades out, they mutter, "Fresh meat." Alright, so I feel like this episode not a whole lot happened. Except for, we kind of got to see, maybe not through this, but when we were playing we got to kind of see how Malvis treated or dealt with the fact that he no longer had magic to help him, which is why he was huddled in a corner with doing nothing. And now they're in charge of this dragon who hopefully no one takes offense to the fact of its name, because our group is very nerdy and that was amongst the name that we came up with. You can obviously tell we like other nerdy things. But yeah, other than those bigger things, not too much happened. It was just a lot of them traveling. However, one thing that will have some consequences, have some interesting things down the road, is this talk of a monastery that's being started and this Marcus person. They will actually come to play pretty soon, and throughout a lot of the next parts of the campaign, you'll kind of see that. So that was something that fed into, future things, while a lot of it doesn't really. A lot of it was just some fun while we were traveling to make it so it wasn't just like, oh, this day ended. Okay, this day ended. Instead, they were just random people that we met. Yeah, and so coming up, we'll kind of see what happens with them going further into the mountains and see if they actually discover this hidden town, city, society that could help them with the dragon, and we'll kind of get to see what happens and what they decide to do with this little baby dragon in the future. So yeah, until next time, roll well, and I will see you then.